Yeah, I'm Steve Stevens of Atomic Playboys, and we're in Los Angeles, California. With the exception of my vocalist, Perry McCarty, these are largely people that I've worked with before. They've all been fired out of Billy Idol's group, actually. No, they're... Tommy Price, who played drums on the record, was with Billy Idol. Phil Ashley, the keyboardist on the album, and with us now as a permanent member. I had worked in sort of a pre-production capacity, demoing up things with Billy Idol as well. Perry McCarty, I sort of set about a year and a half time to find a vocalist. So I found Perry actually through a tape that was produced by Ronnie James Dio. And he showed up on my doorstep in, like, you know, running shoes and all this, and I thought, great, at least he didn't give a fuck about, you know, the hair and all this other stuff, because people can misperceive how important that is to me. I look like this because I've always looked like this. And, you know, even when I was, you know, 15 years old, you know, this has been a large part of, you know, waking up in the morning for me. Otherwise, I'd sleep through the day, you know. To me, there's certain guitarists who are out there doing instrumental records which just sound like backing tracks in need of a singer. So I purposely wanted to avoid that. Plus the fact that I think that what people expect from Steve Stevens is not just the guitar thing, you know. I was telling someone the other day that really I always was nominated in polls by magazines that weren't guitar player magazines, you know, things like Rolling Stone record polls and Playboys reader poll, things like that. And you don't even see my name in those kind of guitar magazines, although they still put me in there. Because I think I'm still primarily a rhythm guitar player, you know, and that's kind of the average Joe that goes out and buys a record is not going like this. He's going, yeah, that's what he wants to hear. You know, that's, you know, the Pete Townsends and the Jimmy Pages and, you know, and Hendrix, really, to a certain extent, you know, rhythm guitar stuff.
Now that you're leading your own band and sort of in charge, have you seen any aspects of the music industry or music business that maybe you've been sheltered from before that
that's
off guard or something?
That's probably one of the best questions anyone's ever asked me, yeah. You know, you become aware of things like, you know, different radio formats and things like that, and, you know, where your record's going on the Billboard chart or something like, you know, stuff that I never watched. I mean, you know, when we sold like 2.5 million copies on Rebel Yell, I didn't know where it was on a chart. I didn't know what radio stations it was being played on. You know, I was just like, you know, 21-year-old kid, like, wow, this is great, you know. I'm actually in front of people who know my solos and things like that. That's all that mattered to me. The analogy of Atomic Playboys music is if you took a white boy, myself, and put him in a neighborhood which was largely black and Puerto Rican, all my friends were listening to Marvin Gaye and Curtis Mayfield. I mean, Superfly was the album, you know, when I was a kid. So if you take that sort of early progressive rock music with R&B, that's a close approximation of where my record is at.
this week.